There's an age-old quote that it is better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war. And that's one that I didn't really connect with as much, but now that I work an office job, you just kind of live in a soft life. But I was reading this silly samurai book because, well, I thought it was silly at the time. Jiri Prohaska, a UFC fighter, he kind of like lives by the Bushido quote, a code or whatever. And I thought, what is this that he feels so touched by, this samurai code? Let me go ahead and read what the Bushido code or whatever is. So, got a little book for samurai stuff, and it just talked a lot about, preserving your body, making sure you're in good shape, that type of thing, and just having a duty to be fit as well as having a duty to be a family person and a good employee at work. And I thought, yeah, just because I work an office job doesn't mean that's an excuse to be out of shape. And clearly I'm not a samurai and I have no fights to go fight, but the idea of staying sharp I really do connect with. So maybe you need to think more like that. Some other tips, I was just thinking of what I can put in this video. I was listening to Faraz Sahabi, GSP's coach, and he said that any training session you should have, like, I think it was 70 to 80% effort, where you shouldn't really be sore or too sore after any random training session. Now, I'm sure there's exceptions, maybe once a month or whatever you might want to push yourself, but the idea of working out but not being so sore was very interesting to me, and it really does help with consistency because you're not dreading these workouts. So I picked a amount of workout load where I can do it pretty consistently without feeling like crap or anything. So that has really worked for me, not pushing yourself too hard, especially at first. I mean, if you are an office worker and you're out of shape and you want to start working out, take it slow. Start going for walks. Try to build a routine around it that you can keep doing and feel good and never feel bad, never feel sore. I mean, maybe you'll be sore some days, but you shouldn't be sore 90% of the time, in my opinion. So those are two inspirations I took from Jiri Prohaska and then Faraz Sahabi. Another thing that I like to do is just watch more fitness type documentaries. Every now and then you'll see some type of almost like clickbait where it's like, this person's a lawyer, but they run ultra marathons on the side. I think one of the best female runners was a full-time lawyer, and she ran, I think it was 600 marathons in a row while working. So she had her lawyer papers that she needed to read transcribed or whatever, or the opposite. It was turned into audio, and she would just run all day. And she ran, I'm pretty sure it was 600 marathons in a row while working full-time as a lawyer. So hearing stories like that, I have no interest in being that crazy or running that many marathons in a row. But it does make you think, what excuses have I been thinking of? This lady ran 600 marathons in a row. And it reminds me of another quote where if you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. So she didn't argue for her limitations, so maybe I shouldn't argue for mine. I can do some push-ups in the bathroom. It's not that big a deal. So, those are my thoughts of the day. I'm going to turn these into little shorts. They're pretty easy to watch at that point. Maybe inspire some people to get in shape with me.